What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is the 13th of November. We're going to take a look here. We're going to do a little combination video here this morning. We're going to wrap in Aerodrome Finance here first. We'll touch on Moonwell second, and then we will also cover Bitcoin. Try to get these two done here in one video this morning. So we have Aerodrome Finance here. This is the Aero Finance / USD chart. And this is from Coinbase. So we have another, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Today will be the fourth day of pullbacks. We're down 2.59%, trading at $1.347.2. We continue to make, let's see here, lower highs and lower lows. The 11th might have been a higher low. Let's see here, 143. 143.7, 143.8. Yeah, it was a higher low, but the 12th and then as well as today. So we have lower highs and lower lows. So we are clearly in a short-term, potentially short-term downtrend here. Looks like we have some support at the right shoulder here of this head and shoulders pattern. You can see the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. So the highs of the right shoulder is where the market's pulling back to right now. And those levels are like 134 to down to 132.6, 132.5 right in here. There's a couple different levels there, but basically between 132 and 134. So we have a decent candle wick today below the market. So we'll see if this area, this ceiling of resistance here holds as a floor of support. What we want to see starting in tomorrow's candle be basically we want to see a higher low print. So if we print a higher low starting at like 134 and maybe start to move higher, then we can start to shift our gears into looking for prices back to the upside. But as these markets continue to make lower highs and lower lows, it keeps our mind in a downtrend mode. So here's an example of when the markets will print so we have lower highs and lower lows right on this pullback here. And then we finally print a higher low and a higher high on the 5th of November. We could start to shift our gears to the upside. And that obviously worked out very well. Went on a massive rally here, top to bottom, 50+%. So that's what I see here for Aerodrome. We still have our eyes up on the 1716. Obviously, it's going to depend on what the rest of the markets do. Bitcoin, if they pull the plug on Bitcoin for whatever reason, and things go into a deep correction, we're not going to see Aerodrome get up to 1716. If this is just a slight pause in a bigger trend, which I believe it is, then at some point here, we'll start to see these markets start to turn green again and head north back to the upside. We'll have some new upper targets for you guys soon. We're just waiting for these markets to, stop making daily lower lows and lower highs. As they continue to do that, we just shift our gears to, we stay focused, I should say, on downside targets. So there's a whole cluster here. It's a little bit busy, but there's a real important area here of 128, 129. That's come into play many times in the past for Aerodrome. If you've been following, you are aware of that. Below that, 119.8 and then 110.7 right here. But we'll see. We'll see. So far, this is just a major higher low. So we have a lower high, we have a higher low, we have a higher high, and so far we have a higher low. What comes next at some point here, hopefully, if trends continue, would be another higher high, and that will probably be the move that takes us up to what we're looking for here, 1716. So that's what we have here for Aerodrome. If you're new, you probably think these charts look like a guitar. They're very busy, but all these price levels come into play, and I am not so quick to take them off, even these lower ones here. Because if markets end up selling off, I want to have these levels down here. So obviously we didn't sell off in this head and shoulders here. at least so far, we've rallied here. So we're just looking for a spot here where these markets are going to pause, find support, and hopefully rally again. Let's take a look at Bitcoin real quick before we get into Moonwell. We have Bitcoin. We have inside day today, which means we don't have a new high. We don't have a new low. We are holding relatively tight here. We're in a little bit of a pennant pattern forming here, which would be basically multiple days followed by lower highs and higher lows, which ends up forming basically like a pennant, like a flag. And then that will lead to a breakout at some point, something like this. And you'll see this again in just a moment on the Moonwell chart. We still have higher Bitcoin targets. We have 196,626. That's what we're looking for here. Again, we'll see how far we pull back. Do we pull back all the way on the 80,614? I'm not sure, but things are holding pretty tight right now. So we'll see. I mean, let's not write off the powerful move here. It's been a huge, huge move. We talked about it. We said, look, there's a lot of energy built up in this pattern. It's a huge base. If this thing gets ready to take off, heads up, it could take off like a rocket. That's exactly what we're seeing and what we just saw, straight up like a rocket. That's what happens when you have major resistance, tons of energy, and lots of time. This thing, boom, energy has to be released somewhere, and so far it's been released to the upside. Let's see. Yeah, so 80,614 is below, and then 96,626 above for our target. Let's check out Moonwell, guys. So Moonwell got the break below the pennant about a day or two early. The apex is on Friday, or Friday, Saturday, right here. This is similar to what we just looked at Bitcoin, the flag pattern. We broke to the downside. We had a 12% down day yesterday, which was Tuesday. But the markets are finding support at the 72.4 level. You can see this white level here on the chart. We closed just about there yesterday, and so far we traded below it, and we are back just above it today. So we'll see if that holds or not. Just because we broke to the downside in the pennant pattern doesn't mean this thing is done going higher. It's probably going to need to base out for a bit before taking a trend higher. Also, sometimes you'll see markets, they'll break down from a pattern and they'll flip and rally. So they'll get a bunch of traders short and then they'll actually flip and rally. And then a lot of this is triggered by covering shorts. XRP, you could see things have happened like this before. Here is a XRP chart. Here is a break below a large pennant. Massive rally. Here is another break below the pennant. Massive rally into new highs. So I don't know if that'll play out or not, but just be aware that just because we broke to the downside doesn't mean this thing can't flip and just take off straight up. To the upside, we still have our eyes on, let's see here. Well, we actually found resistance at 10.8, but we do have targets all the way up to 13.95, 13.8. And again, we'll have higher ones if these markets do continue to the upside. Below the markets today, 65.6, potential support. 48.92 is below that if things get ugly. All right, guys. We will be back to normal videos, as in separate videos, but try to put everything in one here this morning. Moonwell, Aerodrome, and Bitcoin. A lot of red on the screen, but let's not forget how far we've come in just a short amount of time to the upside. All links down below, guys. If you are not yet subscribed, join us here. Appreciate it. Please make your own financial decisions, and we'll catch you guys down in the comments. Take care.